to the forest.
Um,
Welcome, everyone. My name's Michelle. This is Tom of the forest. If you see a forest fire, you let Tom know. He's going to come and throw a can of water at you. Can of water, bottle of water, whatever. I got some weird hair stuff going on. How are you doing, stranger? Oh, cheers. I got a big cup of tea.
I got a big cup of tea. Mine's Tetley from England,
Mine's Macintosh.
from Sarnia,
From
from the dollar store.
right. No, I'm very particular with my apple juice.
Oh, I
You-
thought it was tea.
no. It's apple juice. But fun fact, Gemma, 8 years old, was over yesterday and we had Zane's turning 1, if you can believe it. How fast did that year go by? So they had a birthday party. I didn't participate. I'm sure there was runny noses involved. And then they all came back here for burgers and fries. And Gemma says, Nana, can I have some of your apple juice? And I said, absolutely. Bring me some too. We'll have some apple juice. Cheers each other. Have a good time. Apple juice party. She brings me the apple juice, ice in it. Threw me a little. I was like, is that ginger ale? No, it's the apple juice. Did you put ice in it? So when she wasn't looking, I flicked the ice out into hers.
Oh no. Was it
But
from the fridge or something?
yeah, it's from the fridge. It's already
Fridge froze
cold.
it?
Yeah.
The fridge froze the ice?
Do I?
Was the apple juice?
What did you say? You
Did the
first?
fridge freeze it or somebody put ice in it?
No, she put
Huh?
ice in it because she's an ice person like you.
Oh,
You and
oh,
are the ice eaters, but I'm not. I'm used to her putting ice in everything. She probably even puts it in milk if they drink milk. I'm not sure. But yeah, Nana goes hardcore. The straight stuff. Give me the straight stuff. How was
I
the
want this
party
straight.
last week?
Well, so last week, yeah, we had so what we did is we did um I'm trying to think how we did what. Like I'm trying to think of the order. So um
Well, we'll take the Coles version.
yeah, well basically we you got Emily a few things. Her birthday was the 29th. So I
Okay.
think that the Friday, or anyways. So we went to mom's. Teresa, oh, the day we were going to do this last Sunday, Teresa had made a carrot cake. So
Favorite.
and so they came here, and so we did a few little gifts here, and mom didn't come because she, didn't feel up to it. Right? She's less mobile and less mobile these days.
Sure, of
Gets
course.
to her car, goes for a drive. But so, anyways, so I think Teresa brought her a piece of cake, and sidebar, because Teresa will never listen to us, of course, unless we're like, well, even if we are famous. But so
And
here's
we're
a
famous.
here's a fun fact. You can make a
Okay.
note of this. We can circle back.
Okay.
So I'm not sure why. So she made a carrot cake, brand new recipe. So the carrot cake was, my son's here, so he's hearing me. I'm gonna get busted. But the carrot cake was pretty good, right, Ethan? No, he's not answering me. But she makes great carrot cake, but she tried a new recipe, and it was good, but it wasn't as good as her, like her
Right. Right.
her
Regular.
normal one, right?
Yeah.
And so I always wonder when somebody has something that's proven, like a recipe they follow.
It's not
I don't
broken.
know
Why fix
why.
it?
Well, yeah, and I'm not, there's no judgment. I just don't know
Yeah.
why.
Right.
From a guy who doesn't follow any recipe.
Right. But it's an interesting thing. What enticed you to think you needed improvement? Right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I love
yeah,
carrot cake.
yeah. My son has a ritual for burgers, right, Ethan? Yeah. They won't hear you. Would you ever change it? Maybe. Okay, so he's open to change. He makes the best burgers in town.
In town?
Yeah.
I'll have to come and
We
try.
can't even go and eat burgers now because what's that?
I said I'll have to come try one.
100%. We'll bring one to you. We're
Okay.
all on the plane.
Yeah, I want cheese. Cheese. Cheese,
Yeah,
please.
he does cheese, but
Okay.
we get like ground beef, like from the butcher, but ground beef, not in a tube because that's all. And then he shapes them, and on top, olive oil and seasoning. I think as a special seasoning on top
You have to put
of the.
eggs
So
in
he
them?
massages it in the top. He doesn't overmix the burger.
Do you
He
put
just
eggs in
shapes
them?
it.
No
What?
eggs? No eggs?
No eggs, no breadcrumbs, right, Ethan?
Yeah, it's meat.
It's
The way
meat.
Alec does it. That's the way Alec does
And
it.
it's you know what? It's like the challenge is we've got a couple new burger places we have to try though,
Can't go
but
back. Can't go back.
it doesn't it we're snobs. We can't help it, right?
Yeah,
But
but
back to Emily.
real
So Emily got a
versus
few things.
processed, right? Real versus processed.
Yeah, and but here's a fun fact, right? So what it makes me think of, but I know it won't be the same, but reliving old memories. I get rid of the hat. The hat's bugging me now. My hair was I didn't wash my hair today, so I felt like I'm swimming. I got two little
We,
waves in
we
my
would
hair.
never know on Zoom. You just tattled on
See,
me.
look at the two little waves in my hair.
Hi. Hi, Tom, Sarah.
There we
Goodbye.
go. Anyways, who are you talking to?
Your hair.
Oh, is our friend on here?
No.
Well, I'm disappointed.
Come on,
Uh,
Elaine. Where are
anyways,
you?
yeah. So what was I saying?
About your hair and burgers.
Oh, burgers. Yeah. So I have these smell memories when I was a child living downtown Toronto, like a
Yep.
little kid,
Yep.
and the first Harvey's was downtown Toronto
Yep.
of King and Jameson, or in that area, and flame broiled. And I remember there'd be a little glass, like you'd order it and you'd see them on the be on the flame broiled, and it had this relish. I just remember it, right? Long pickle on it. Like, anyways, right? We don't have any Harvey's in BC, not one.
What?
I know.
I got a drive through. I
I
can get
think they were
from here.
send them down,
Get two.
but in Alberta they had some, but they were too far from where we were. But it was just I know it's processed.
That'd be. Wow.
So how would you rate Harvey's?
Better. So if I were to go for a burger, although honestly, probably the last 10 times I've been to Harvey's, chicken burger with cheese on it. That's sort of my go to anymore at the burger
Chicken with cheese,
places.
Ethan?
Partially because my burgers are world famous. So if we're having a burger, but Al will have the burger. So if we're doing burger joint, Harvey's or Wendy's, those are my two go to. If we're doing chicken, Mary Brown's. Do you have
Yeah,
Mary
we've got
Brown's?
Mary Brown's here. Well, the two that you're talking about, with Wendy's and Harvey's that I know of, they're both on a conveyor, and they're both flame broiled, gas flame,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
That I know of, right? If I remember, I think that's what they're still doing. But anyways, and all of these little memory laying things. So Emily, had a good time, and the good thing that happened too is she went to her. This is her birthday present of her dad, strongly encouraging her. But she finally had an appointment with a counselor, and cost some money, like $150. So it's not cheap. It's not like 300. And so she went by herself, and she wanted to bring her daughter, and that's her kind of codependent thing. And it was great. Like, it was just the beginning, and she was going like, the woman didn't have a form. I wasn't doing this and that. It was just a chance to sit down and her get to know me, and
Yeah,
Cash,
that's what it should
and
be.
that beautiful. And so she's going back tomorrow, actually Monday, which was great. And so she did a thing, nothing to do with her birthday, but her birthday week, right? Like Tammy's birthday week. And
Hmm.
then there was a free counseling session on Wednesday through the government for Izzy, who's 14, for her and Izzy. So it was a 3-hour morning thing. Both
Oh,
kids aren't in,
good.
both kids are in school. And she said it was horrible, Dad. She goes, it was like they're telling us what things are available online. They assessed the older one, and they said like she's not at a point where they think she needs support.
Oh, that's interesting.
Well, interesting. Again, we're not. This is whatever.
Yeah.
Interesting that she's cutting
Mm,
and she's sharing some stuff about self harm.
right.
So that's not like we'll go to fun stuff, but that's not like I don't think you brush that off. But anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to find like through private, and we'll have to chip in and pay Main Tree or whatever, and just get her a place where she can talk and just process stuff, right?
Hmm. Interesting.
So that's the problem with some government stuff.
Yeah, well, we're outsiders looking in, right? Who knows how those conversations went? So, you know,
Well, the only thing I know because of what I've been through, I know the government funded program. It's like the teachers, like I don't know how it's where you are, like right now with in the high school where the oldest one goes, they are 25% over capacity,
and
and
how many of those kids are actually showing up?
well, not her, but
I'm just saying, and
yeah,
we're not talking about her now. I'm
yeah,
just
but
saying
but but in
in
general,
general,
yeah.
right?
So and
Of
then
the no-show rates are crazy and they push them through anyways. I have
well,
some teachers that are members. We have interesting
yeah.
conversations.
And what happens is this. So it's kind of there's a
No
whole bunch of
discipline.
caveats with it. So first of all, incredibly hard to manage for the teacher,
Oh, I
right?
would do it.
So,
It's another field that's going to be short.
yeah, and so incredibly hard. So with the eldest not being able to go to school through social anxiety and just through some stuff where she needs help, and they've communicated to the teachers through email and to the counselor. Um, the teachers, and it's not blaming the teachers, but they don't know. Well, they're saying, well, you can't do the homework at home. You need to come in. So they're just giving what they're told to spiel. You can't come in. Or one teacher in math says you're too far behind. So I'm not giving you homework to go to do at home.
Right,
You got to come in.
right.
So not picking on the teachers, but you're in this catch, right? So and then not that it's happened, but it could happen. Then all of a sudden you get people to a certain point where from a government program. I'm not anti-government. Well, I know we both can a little bit be anti-government, but all of a sudden, because of numbers, then truancy gets involved. Well, why are these kids like? So it's a hard like there's so many like I'm not picking on people in the education system per se. There's probably
But there's
90% good,
cracks in every part, right? Whether it's the
but
teachers,
our
the
our but our
parenting,
our dollar is going to
students.
help. Like, are we looking at like if Michelle has like they've diagnosed you and given you oxygen, right?
I pay for it.
No, but they diagnosed you, right? They give
Yeah,
you,
like I have a prescription. Is that what you're saying?
yeah. So some doctors looked and said, hey, you need some oxygen. You got to pay for it. But
For
they
that.
didn't for what you need the oxygen for, they didn't give you like a walking cast, or they didn't give you. So the point I'm making, I'm using a bad example. The point
Yeah.
I'm making is the school system with with uh, too many kids, not enough teachers. Healthcare is the same way, by the way, probably in Ontario, but BC too. Healthcare is horrible, right? So the government knows these things. And so you look at how do you incentivize? What do you do? What are the different things you do? There was just a big article in a national paper, but again, I know people in healthcare, but about people in BC, probably happening all over again. BC and Ontario are very similar in some ways, education and some of those things, right? Because people go to Ontario or go to BC for a lot of education, but you have people coming into BC getting their diplomas and degrees, and then they're leaving the country.
Sure.
And so we're not even retaining the people we're educating. So Well, stats are showing it.
No, we also have programs exactly for that, and they're not leaving. That's
Yes,
the other side
but
of
we
it,
don't.
right? And they're not
But
even
we don't.
finishing the school.
We don't. And you're right. We don't have enough. So I know a person. I know somebody whose son is a doctor now, and he was incentivized to be a doctor up north, and they actually gave him a house, and they gave him incentive to whatever. Right? He was single and like in mid-20s, right? So you're right. There is these things, but part of it is, and this is politics. Unfortunately, like this is having all of these funded money from Ottawa trickling down. And part of it is the feet's on the ground. What do we need? Where do we need support? Where do we need help? What's like, where do we need a traffic light? Do we need a traffic light in the middle of the lake, or do we need a traffic light in the middle where there's, you know what I mean? Right.
Right.
So all I'm saying is right now we're getting a lot of, and I'm not saying it's bad. It's just, it's hard to catch up. We're getting lots of language out there on mental health crisis, mental health crisis. That's
Which
what we're
is an
hearing.
easy label to wear when it's convenient. That's the other part of it, right?
So yes, so this all going back to what my daughter went to, right, for 3 hours. And you're right, part of it is what was presented and what was heard. So there's speaking and listening. So I'm getting the listening part, right? So I'm
Of
okay with that.
course. You're right.
And so,
Exactly.
but
Right.
the thing is you'll, so it's like somebody, you know, mom sometimes doesn't hear what she, well, that's not what I want to hear. Well, that's what it is, right? You can't do this because you're Canadian, whatever, right? But in it, just because I've been trying to work through this with Alberta for the granddaughter in here. There's hotlines and these things too, but there's stuff, by the way, there's stuff happening, but and there's stuff available, but people aren't aware, right? So anyways, it same's going back to teachers, and same's going back to our medical. There's, I believe there's stuff in the pipeline, but how do we, like, we can't fast track somebody who needs a 4-year degree to be a nurse, we'll say, right?
Right.
They got to do 4 years to be a nurse. But how do we make sure, like right now, I think the medical, like there's more older people. I don't know the population exact numbers, but there's more people my age, your age, more people, baby boomers, right? And that'll change somewhat. But so there's more people needing medical expense. You're a boomer,
I'm not a boomer.
a
Check
zoomer.
your stats. I'm not a boomer. You might be a boomer. I'm
Boomer,
not
what's
a
a what,
boomer.
62?
1968, pal.
What was a boomer to 62?
I think 64,
Okay.
63, 64.
So
Not
just a few of
cool.
us. But anyways, the point being is
I'm the
it's
cool generation, okay? Sorry, not
you're
sorry.
the, what's your generation called again?
I
Gen X?
Gen X, yeah.
Yeah.
The ones who
But
don't care.
leaving all this behind, we'll go some good stuff, but leaving all this behind, the thing, so this is what I tell my work. I just had some work meetings, like some good stuff with our president, stuff like that. And the thing is about being proactive than reactive, proactive than reactive, proactive than reactive. And so
Do you have a
part of it, I'm
stutter?
not, huh?
Do you have a stutter?
Proactive, reactive,
Yeah, I
proactive,
heard you
reactive.
8
I'm
times.
AI. I'm not real.
Yeah.
I'm,
Thanks for coming,
but
everybody. I'm exhausted.
yeah, but the thing is with politics, and I don't know if it'll be fixed before I die, but we can talk game, and there is some politicians that are great people and good people, and they want to change and do the right thing. So just saying that, but right now there is crisis, and instead of, I'll say this for you, which I believe too, instead of going through the smoke and mirrors we went through when we had the lockdown and all of the
Right?
energy and all of the money and all of the, you know, look at this hand, don't look at this hand.
That's right.
That caused so much strain on many things, right?
For sure.
So my work, getting back to what our numbers were before that, we're just getting back to the same numbers. But as a country, like getting back to the workforce, I'm not even talking about dollars, but just getting back to somewhat normality. Like you said, there's a whole bunch of high school kids aren't going to school,
Yeah.
right? That's the big thing. Well, why aren't they going?
And yeah, and it's, I mean, the thing is it's twofold. So is it something legit, or is it easier for the parents just not to deal with them and make them go? Do you know what I mean? Like, is there boundaries set up and rules at home? Or is it, just like, have you heard of the generation of kids that are being encouraged to talk back and be sassy and be mouthy? It's a whole big thing right now. And the perspective is, well, my child's not going to be taken advantage of, or my child is going to be able to stand up for themselves. But it's a fine line between, being able to succeed in society as an adult, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Never mind to come into it with an attitude. That's like the new trendy thing. And there's a couple famous people. Um, oh, it's a famous couple, neither of which I'm a huge fan of, but they're under a lot of a lot of fire right now over that. Because like their kids don't think twice about telling an adult to F off or
Yeah.
what you know what I mean? Whatever. And just not and this is what happens in the real world is that these things they come up like, and I'm not knocking anybody with mental health issues, but it can also be a crutch for people. It can also be an excuse not to try, not to do, not to participate. So it seems like with everything, the processed food, the medical system, all of it, the pendulum always goes way too far, right? We're seeing that with the
Yeah.
gender thing and everything. And then it cracks and it explodes. And then somewhere it just ends up dangling in the middle. And that's where sanity lives. But it seems like, that like, oh my gosh, it all started with the happy chair, with acknowledging, and I'm not saying because we came from it. Well, I don't know about you, but I
Well,
had
I don't know about you.
I don't know about you,
I
but
use
like,
the index finger, so you know.
well, my parents were really strict, right? They like I had a curfew, I had responsibilities after school every day, I had rules. I think I was grounded my whole 16th year. It was, it was pretty, we had a lot of freedom on one hand, but when you blew it, boy, were you reined in. And uh-oh, what'd you drop? Uh-oh, red alert. So it was it's because he's standing on the thing there. Anyway, sorry. But we were reined in where now, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's not hard to parent. Every generation has their struggles of things we're up against, right? Same as I've been watching a lot of TED Talks and the fallout of the kids being like relying on and being babysat by devices. I just watched a really good TED Talk actually. I should see if I can find it again. And that's exactly what they were talking about how this generation of kids doesn't have the problem solving skills. And one would think, well, they're playing games all the time, of course they have problem solving skills. No, they don't, because in the game it gives them so many options to choose from, so they're not going from raw, like, do you know what I mean? They're not going from, do you remember when you just had to go amuse yourself? Like the stuff we played with, right? The things that we could be
Yeah.
creative with our imagination. Dominoes was such a fun game for a hot minute, right? Or, where you'd play handball against the wall, all that stuff. Kids today, and it's a variety of causes, and I could never pinpoint it to one thing, but all of those are all factors, right? Same as I was watching, I follow this financial guy. I'm sure I've sent you a clip of him before. And he was talking about, he has a call-in show. And this girl called in and she's like, how are people making their finances work, and having all these things that I feel like I should have, but I don't, and I don't understand it. And he's like, well, how old are you? She was in her mid 20s. How much do you make? She made about 95,000 a year. Do you have any debt? Nope, she didn't have any debt, but she hadn't decided to make the leap into a mortgage or whatever. And he, darn, that's going to bug me now what his name is. But he went into a really good explanation of how when what you guys you're on fire over there. He talked about when we were growing up. Remember the term keeping up with the Joneses, right?
Sure.
So you might have had a neighbor that was financially stable, right? And was pretty set up in your mind, the Joneses, if you will. But those same people, you could also see that, they fought a lot, or so you saw the other side of their real life. You saw that maybe they never cut their grass, or you saw that, I don't know, they never went out and were social, or they yelled at their kids all the time, or whatever that looked like. What? I do not. Do you have Alice's coat, Tom?
666.
666, he said. Okay. I think she had it when she came back from the parade last night. So then he said, you're getting the social media version, which is, and again, that we in our age, even in your age, you realize as a boomer, I'm going to hold on to that forever now. You realize that every story has another component we're not seeing. I realize that too, because we came from our generation. We were raised in the 70s and the 80s, the greatest time ever to be alive, and we figured stuff out. The kids, like all of our grandchildren, not like just Emily, like all of our grandchildren, they don't have that. So when they see, and besides the fact they're seeing filters on people, they're seeing all, you know what I mean? The girls and the filters. It's such an unrealistic expectation, and they don't have the background, the foundation, or the knowledge to decide the difference, right?
So here's a few things.
Sure,
I have
go.
some thoughts,
Okay, I'll
and then
sit
I have
here.
questions. I have questions because,
Okay,
and then we'll talk about movies later or shows because I got some fun stuff. Well, I don't know if it's
okay.
fun. So, so at the beginning, you were talking about being strict. And so I know there's a few years difference between us. Like
Yep.
you were raised in sunshine, I was raised in darkness. No,
White cloud, black
um,
cloud.
but it's again part of it is I believe, and I've been saying this quite often the last 6 months, and we've talked about it a few times on the show, is nurture versus nature, right? And
Sure.
and I've talked to people about so you know the way we work biologically is it's so like the whole thing about allergies now compared to what they were in the 40s or 50s, but allergies has happened to people, like they're not fake, it's not people's imagination, people have died, right?
Right.
But something has happened to our genetic code. Now we can go into processed foods, that's a whole another show, right?
Yeah.
But so
Hi, Alice. Yeah.
but you can have people who can I'm just my thoughts through what I've learned, like what I'm learning, like medically, like my information I'm getting, right?
Sure.
You can have people that can be, average, teenager girl. I'm thinking of my daughter, by the way. Go to high school, go to public school and elementary school friends, normal, blah 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 blah. No big red flags, and all of a sudden, she gets into teenage years. Different things are happening, different body
Hormones.
chemicals, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden, yeah, and all of a sudden, social anxiety kicks in. Now, social anxiety is a nurture. An external thing, but it's an internal thing. So in that, so the reason I was saying that, so I wrote that down because I think that it's important, and it's interesting because the parenting thing is and I think it's a great thing to talk about because we're not like,
It's huge.
but it's such a, like, if you and me were a fly in the car with, or in somebody's home with how people are parenting,
Hmm.
we have that superpower.
Hmm.
We would pick right away parents that are just lazily dysfunctional, don't care, like you'd be pick up, and then you'd have parents that maybe haven't or don't want to develop, or are fearful developing disciplines, right?
Sure.
And so I'm going to use my situation, right? So the youngest grandchild was brought to school a couple of weeks ago, in the car, in the car. My daughter gets to school, says, okay, we'll see you later. Good job. Here's your favorite lunch, blah, blah, blah. She has a meltdown in school,
Hmm.
and she says something. And so somebody said to me, she should have just dragged her into school.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't know if I would do that.
Yeah.
And so
And it's
so
so much deeper than one event, right?
yes. And
Like,
but here's the thing, and I wish I could remember what was said.
I hate talking
She,
about
and
them
this
though.
was the big thing. She said something about, the youngest one said, and she's 8, she used language that she has heard from the older one.
Well, of course.
Like, I'm overwhelmed, whatever the word was. I can't remember. Like, it's a bigger word than that, right?
Yep.
So all of a sudden, you learned behavior, learned language. So we know that, right? So
And cause and effect. It gets the effect she wants.
so so I try with people, not just my daughter, but some of the guys I work with, and you know this, it's so hard. Like, um, you and me would believe, this is positive. You and me would believe that we are so incredible, that we have the ability, if we understand, like like hope or faith, with the power we have, that we can overcome any obstacle per se. Like, if you want to overcome an eating issue or a health issue, you know what I
Sure.
mean, or whatever, right?
With a
To
plan.
whatever
Yeah.
degree, right?
With a plan.
But
Yeah.
but we know that breaking bad habits are a lot harder than starting new habits.
That's right.
So there's something intrinsic with people, this fear of like, so I'll use the situation now where you have a child that's not a bad child, but all of a sudden is now wearing the clothing, mentally, emotionally, of the older child.
All of a sudden?
No, but
Exactly.
mimicking.
Because
So
nothing's all of a sudden, right?
no.
Things are all of
So
a sudden.
using this as an example, so you have a mother who's walked through her thing, and I'm going to use my situation, like, as being raised, because I wasn't raised strict
You
at
could
all.
just make up a family, you know.
No, I want to use mine. I'm not scared. It's in my book. I'm still writing. But so you have a mother who's traumatized, who was in a normal home. Like, she was grounded and stuff like that. She was normal, right? She was good in elementary school and that. So you have somebody who was raised in a good home, decent home, no, big struggles, don't think that, and all of a sudden has a child at 18, and then she pregnant at 18, as a child at 19, and then she's in a relationship where she's traumatized by a partner. So we know a lot of those stories, right? And some women can, like, get out of that toxic thing, is like, screw you, and better themselves. Some of them have the confidence to do that. One of our sisters that has long blonde puffy hair did that. You did that. But that's a whole different thing, right? So all of a sudden she's in this place of brokenness, we'll say. But then the kids pick up on that. So the reason I'm saying that, leave that family up for a minute. When we look at not just when we look at alcoholic homes, when we look at these types of environments, that the alcoholic parents is not willing or not able to get out of their circumstance. that the emotional mental dysfunction goes into the kids. They may not be alcoholic at that point, but they now embrace usually the
Sometimes.
the emotional. Well, some of them will just push right away or go find a healthy
It
environment.
also depends what kind of alcoholic they are. You can be
100%.
you can be like my dad was an alcoholic. He was a fun alcoholic. He was a
Yeah.
life of the party alcoholic. The only person that hated the alcoholism was my mom.
Yeah.
So
Well,
different
my
effects,
stepdad,
right?
my stepdad, functional alcoholic, would never be able to tell that he drank 24 beers in a day.
Yeah.
No, no, no way.
Okay.
Like he wouldn't be able to tell, right?
Yeah.
So he wasn't mean, he wasn't whatever, he's quiet, right? But anyways, the thing going back to raising the children, like and I agree with you. Part of me goes, so two quick things in the questions. So first of all, raising the raising of the children, where did we shift from as a society, and I think it's a disease in the Western society. Keeping up with the Joneses was the trigger word you use. I was going to say, because I'm older, it was keeping up with the Lincolns and Abraham Lincoln, keeping up with the Lincolns. But all of a sudden, and this can go back to women not being in the home and not getting into all of that type of stuff. But all of a sudden, we wanted more, we wanted more, we wanted more, we wanted more, right? So all of a sudden, this shift happened, and we're in a place where we need more. Like I know people that have two jobs and then they're doing a DoorDash at
But it
night
didn't used to be
because they
that
can't
way.
afford a mortgage.
Didn't used to be that way.
No,
No.
but we hit something where we entrusted the TV before social media. We entrusted the TV and the 90-year-old lady that would sleep on the couch while your elementary school kids would watch the Jetsons or whatever I don't know, whatever they watch, right? But the interesting thing with social media, so social media, our technology is our system right now, and there's good and bad. You mentioned about TED Talks. So we would say, like my son plays games, but he does a lot of YouTube type stuff where he
Yeah.
does what he does, and he's not like creeping out, right? So we have this tool that can be either used in a good way or not a good way. Back in the day, you and me have to go to a library to learn anything,
Yeah, exactly. And there
right?
are a lot of lessons just in that. But it's more than having
Yeah,
that available. It's also 24-hour cartoons, 24-hour kids
yeah,
show, not kid shows that look
yeah,
like kid shows. You don't realize they're not kid shows till you're already into
yeah,
them. I read
yeah,
another interesting thing recently about all the power and the effort that used to be put in to watching our favorite show. So whether it's watching the Saturday morning cartoons that
yeah,
we knew at 11 o'clock, the last one finished, and there was no more,
yeah,
right? So there's where patience is taught. That's also where creativity, when you have to wait till next week to find out what's going to happen to Jan Brady, that was exciting, right? That, and again, these are things that are turned off in people now because like we binge watch things. It's nothing for me to go on a Monday and watch four episodes of something or maybe a whole season
yeah,
depending on what it is, right? So I think, and it's not one thing, it's a whole world of things that have changed. And mentally, where we lack so, not we've got the foundation. And not Emily and Alec and Robert and Nicole, because they had the foundation. They all had to learn to amuse themselves, especially Emily being an only child, right? Having to amuse herself growing up. They
yeah,
had all those foundational things. It's the generations after that. Like I remember all of my kids getting their first cell phone. It was a really serious decision that we had and something I pushed against and waited like as long as I felt that I possibly could. And if we're going to be honest, I don't think I bought them. I think like their dad or their granny or somebody else stepped in and took that over, right? So it was a whole different time where now I look at Gemma, she's 8, she's got a phone, a tablet, and probably some other, a Switch. She's got
So
other things I don't even know.
so here would be the thing. Okay. Her her mother's your daughter, right?
Yeah,
So if so I'm just doing it third party, right?
sure.
This would me doing to my daughter, or you interviewing my daughter. So it would be like, so so why? Question why? No judgment, just why. Information. I'm trying to
Yep,
understand.
yep,
I do that to some people. I do it to mom, drives her nuts. I said, I don't want to assume anything. When you say this, I want to understand why you mean that, because the word you use here, I may have a different, I may have a different idea of that word, right? Not like word the. So so I'm not judging something. So I'm just using trying to understand something, right? So in a place of counseling, one of the guys I follow as a psychologist, Martin Stingland, and he talks about convenience. He talks about two
yeah,
things in a Western world. It says convenience.
yep.
We live in a place of convenience. The other thing he talks about, and the guy from Windsor, the guy that I watched his thing online, can't remember his name now, but one of the things they're looking at is this effect on our brain with light.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
So
didn't we
our
talk about it?
kids,
They changed the light bulbs all out. It's affecting all sorts with us. We
so
don't
all
have
of this,
regular light bulbs anymore.
so when we found out a long time ago through experience and history of, oh, all of a sudden cigarettes are good for you or they're bad for you, but
Yep,
as a society everything is about money, like you just said, in marketing, because I love that stuff. Is what do you do right now? We're going, holy shit, like I gotta wait a week till the next episode of Landman, or I
right.
gotta wait. So now they're tricking us again. Oh, I gotta wait, come on, just give me it all, right? But we live in a society where we just eat the shit. But going back to our kids, like, so not doing this in a just understanding, and I don't think they would have an answer, by the way. But so why did we give our girls, like, how old's Gemma?
8.
And so Charlotte's 8.
So she got the tablet when she was homeschooling during COVID. That's how it starts. And then the
Okay.
phone is somebody's old phone that she's so like there's no way you're going to keep these things out of their hands. And like science shows it's our natural behavior to go for the easy option. And right, wrong, or indifferent, it's a lot easier instead of dealing with the kid to hand them the device, right? But this is where moderation is key. So
So
it's one thing like if they're traveling and she's got it in the back seat so she can watch a movie, that's one scenario, but it's still important that they have time with no device, that they get sent outside, they have to solve their own battles, they have to, you know what I mean? Like right now at this point, it's you couldn't say no technology, that's not
no,
realistic,
never happen.
but balance is key. So
But but
instead of
but
all
here
technology,
but here's you're bang on. But here's the thing, right? We live in the world we live in. If all of a sudden 5 years AI takes over and there's no, we're all part robot or whatever. I don't know. Who cares? Whatever, right? We live with what we live with, right? But here's the thing:
do we?
when something's easy, so when food became easy and processed and advertised, see, Swanson Dinner was the very first
Yep,
fast food dinner, and it was black. It was on black and white TV, and they showed this family that
yep,
was like, the Beaver family, Leave It to Beaver family, right?
yep.
Oh, look what we can do.
That's
This is
right.
going to save time, blah, blah,
Because
blah,
you're
right?
working now,
And
mom.
then they had the Marlboro Man smoking. Oh, you want
Right.
to be cool? You want to be like the guys on TV, right? So we were pitched stuff, right? But
Yep.
here's the thing. This is my opinion, my experience, right? One of the things. So first of all, I made a big circle and notes, happy faces, and all the stuff that you like. Um, you, meaning the people we're talking about, we, by the way, we have the power. So
We do.
but it's hard to stop. If you give a child a tablet, an Xbox, a Switch, a phone, and whatever, if you give a kid, 10 pounds of sugar in a day, and you don't think you're going to have a crisis when you're trying to deal with that, but here's what you do, right?
Or a
My
high
experience,
dentist bill.
my experience in restaurants, and me and you both been in restaurants, right? The customer's always right is a BS line.
Oh, we never, yeah, no, correct.
So it's your restaurant. So what, and now if you want to serve something off menu, that's all up to you, right? But you appreciate the customer because they're paying your wages and stuff, but you control your menu, you control
The
your
environment,
cleanliness, all that stuff, right?
for
So
sure.
this thing about with home, and I'm working a little bit this with my daughter, but part of it is just for me is giving communication, and it's a friggin', I hate it, Michelle. It's a long game. I want things like going through drive-through. I want things fast, and I have to take a breath, slow down. But it's the long game. So child has a meltdown. Child uses language that's used by a 14-year-old. What do you do? Then child goes home and child's fine. What do you do? So when you have, as an example, people living in an environment where you've created a COVID bubble, where you feel comfortable in a bubble at home, not around people.
No,
Your
because
own
it's
little,
safe there.
well, it's, yeah. So you have to believe you have the power to change that. So going back to technology and Switch and all these things, so a parent does have the ability, if they believe to and choose to, and a little bit of pain at the beginning, but all of a sudden, use for an example, I know so many children, Michelle, that have their phones and tablets at night in bed, and they'll tell their mom, oh, I'm just going to have the white noise on. And then a parent will go in and they're going, what are you doing on your phone? We're talking about 8 years, like that age, eight, whatever, right?
We did it if we had a TV in our room or a phone. Didn't you ever sneak under your mom's bed and talk to your friend on the phone?
My friend wasn't underneath the bed.
No, your friend on the phone. Or sneak and listen to somebody else's phone call. These are some good old
That's
memories.
funny. But the thing is, you're right. But part of it is, so the thing that you
But
said,
we
putting
didn't
up,
get away with it.
but the parent, you and I both know this. So parents are exhausted. But if your kids are valuable to you, get off your friggin' device, go outside, go for a walk, read a book
With them.
with them. Even so, here's the thing: creating a good habit. Even if you do, like, instead of them being on advice, go, hey, let's read a book. If they need, so we'll leave all that. So the
Family movie
reality,
night, right?
yeah. So this is the example I use for my eldest, and we'll go to movies and stuff because I got to tell you some really cool stuff, right?
Okay.
So what I said to my daughter, this is proactive, not reactive. That's just where I'm at right now. I'm going to be proactive to the day I die. I'm going to process before I die. I'm not going to react to death. I'm going
You frozen?
to, I'm being weird, to define and all this. So my granddaughter loves psychology. Psychology.
You're freezing. Your picture's frozen.
You there still?
I am, but
Can you hear me?
it's choppy.
Okay, we're better now. It says,
Back.
think about it, said that you were unstable.
Well, I might be.
It said, yeah, something came up and said you were unstable. Something said
Yeah.
you were unstable. So,
Bet you're in the
but
different
so what I said to my daughter, I said, there's courses online that are not long, maybe 10 hours. You can do at your speed, whatever. You get a certificate, like some courses I've taken. And if she likes psychology or like cosmetic, whatever you want, do something instead of just sitting at home on your phone, watching TV, sleeping. If she's not in school, find something that she can do, even something she likes.
Yeah.
You're being proactive. You're creating a good habit. They got a
We're
gym
also
thing.
being distracted from the mindless chatter.
Yeah. So getting people in the right way takes a bit of time. So here's two quick questions of what it shows. So we've talked about already. So the questions were, what is social media and its effect on us, and what is technology, which we've kind of all talked about. we can't get away from social media and technology.
We can get away from social media. Why can't we?
Um,
And I only say that because, and of course, it's dependent on other things, but there are people who are not on any social media and their world allows that and they're
yeah,
better for it. My son Alec, no social media
yeah.
at all.
So,
I
so
have
that's
a hard time getting him to reply to a text too. I don't mind telling you.
yeah. So, and I agree. So we're not going to pick on those, but I'm going to use it as an example, right? So being so I said, what is social media? So social media, we always think of technology because it's social and it's media, but the people. I just listened to wasn't a TED talk. Shoot, I don't remember what it was. If I find, I'll send you. This guy was talking about. He's a little bit of a guru guy, so he wasn't like this like doctor or whatever. He was talking about social media, but he was talking about connectedness. He
Yeah.
says, so what happens is people don't want to be connected, so they disconnect on social platforms,
Okay.
but then they also disconnect on social interactions. And so use an example. And the only reason I found it interesting, not saying your son lives with you, right?
Oh yeah, and he works and he bowls. He's social.
So
Yeah.
so I won't use an example there because I don't want to do that and get Alex to come Alex come pick on me. But the example this guy used, and what I liked about it, he said, I have people, Michelle, that we have a connection, say through music or through something. And because of the world I live in, I have an expectation. And I talk to people about like, what is a healthy expectation? If I email you or text you or whatever, what is fair or back and forth? And there's grace. But if I'm texting you about, say, a job that needs to be done in 7 days, and I text you on a Monday and it's supposed to be done the following Monday, what is a timely response I expect back from you? Right? And I would expect 24 hours, maybe 48, but that's just where I'm in. But
Right.
I have people that are disconnected. And so that's just an example, using a work example. So I have people that are disconnected in social media, and some of them are disconnected. Maybe one of our brothers, um, from they just the sense of needing to be disconnected on a bit of a greater level. And part
Sure.
of it doesn't mean it's bad, by the way.
Yeah.
Part of it is feeling safer, better with having a controlled environment circle, right?
I
Which
think
is
some,
okay.
yeah, and I think some of it too, though, get your tinfoil out. I think some of it too is fallout from COVID, fallout from the crazy people buying the toilet paper, fallout from the vax pushers. I'm a scientist. You don't know what you're talking about. The
Yeah,
mask pushers. And
yeah,
it's not about what side you're on.
yeah.
It's the fact that everybody was everybody thought they knew everything, and that really turned a lot of people off from society. And you know, and I know, and I'm sure all the people watching us would agree that it's still happening. It's still the division, whether it's what's your thoughts on the gender thing, what's your thought on Charlie Kirk, what's your thought on Trump, what's your thought on Carney, what's your thought on Pierre, what's your thought
Yeah.
on processed food, what do you think about the government, what do you think about forced rehab? Like all of these things for a world that wants unity, they're very, very distractive. And then as a result, it's distancing us from each other. So I know a lot of people that when you think about like the entertainment scene, the bar scene, that sort of thing, people just really got peopled out during and then of course there's a lot of people that ended up being germaphobes. Like I still see the odd random person driving with their mask on by themselves. My heart breaks for them because you know what, right away I think, damn it, they spent the whole time watching CNN or listening to the science like Fauci or these other asshats that I feel like should be reckoned
But
with.
see, going back, and you're right.
Hmm.
So I know people, our brother, who had these social fears and
Yeah.
conspiracy blah blah blah.
Yep.
To me and you would have some, we'd have some conspiracy because yeah, part of it's fun, but part of it is, we don't believe everything we're told is truth,
Well,
unfortunately, right?
and if we
But I know
didn't
some people that
agree,
have,
we didn't hold it against
what's
people
that?
either. If we didn't
No, but we
agree,
we both know
right?
that we're not being told everything. We're not, like, it's
We
my
know
X
that
Files,
now.
the company. The truth is out there, right?
We know that
But,
now.
the thing is there was, they they pushed on a nerve with stress and anxiety,
For sure.
and people um, drank the Kool Aid and believed it,
Yep.
and like I heard people, like you said, to whatever degree. I know people on both sides in the medical industry, like really good nurses, really good doctors, and some that just did their job, worked in emergency, and followed the
Yep.
rule. Great people, right? And I know some on the other side that were, and I know some that didn't believe but doing, but they also, anyways. But part of it is like the the manipulation
Yeah.
that was put on. I can't remember the second word. There was some guy shared something. He was talking about social manipulation, and he used this picture, and it was capillary, like our smallest little.
Yep.
And he says we're supposed to have, as a society, these bigger things. This is to do with everybody's opinion is right, by the way.
Oh, okay.
And so we've created this thing. If you want to be a bear, you can be a bear. If you want to be whatever, right? And so, and here's the reason this is important, because we talked about structure with raising our kids and some of these things. All of a sudden, the school's telling you, you're uh, you're telling a 4 and 5 year old you can be whatever you want. It's up to you. Don't listen to your parents. Actually, you know what I
Oh,
mean. I'm talking about identity, all this stuff, right?
oh, right.
So
That's
that's the
right.
world we live in,
Encouraging secrets.
right? And so control, out of control of that. So anyways, the only thing we can do is take back and influence the circle we have influence,
That's
right?
right.
So anyways, let's leave that. I don't remember what shows or stuff we talked about, but I've watched some really good, I've been watched a couple really good stuff.
What'd you
But I
watch?
want to hear you first. What did you do?
Well, I finished watching The Man on the Inside. That was very good with Ted Danson. So I finished watching that, and I've been just watching. Well, so here I've been really sick. I've been so sick, Tom. Oh my gosh. So I'm back on antibiotics. I had a couple days that it was exhausting just making sure I hit the bathroom. I was on oxygen for a couple days. So I can't remember what we were supposed to watch. I haven't watched a lot. Um, and but I have been watching because I've been in that not in my right mind mindset. I've been watching a lot of, I watch Earth 360 on the Roku TV. And then there's another one I've been really liking. Oh my gosh. And it's like Evolution Earth. I'm
Yep.
not really into the Big Bang or how people like the planets. That's not really my jam. But like they did one all on locusts. Oh my
Yep.
gosh. The nerd in me was so interested. Like
Yep.
grasshoppers versus locusts, and then talking about the locusts and what they do and their cycles. That stuff fascinates me. So I've been watching a lot of that. I don't really get into Christmas music and Christmas movies per se. But over the last few days, I've seen the kids a little bit more, and because I couldn't let them come over, I was sick. But we watched Elf and The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, and then
My two
today,
favorite?
those are my favorite if we're in the real cartoon realm. I have you watched The Fat Man,
No,
Mel Gibson?
no.
Oh my God. If you're into Christmas action, that's my favorite. I'm going to have to find it and watch it. But I watched Rise of the Guardians today. Do you,
Interesting. Yeah, I love that.
I love that one, right? And it's not like a traditional Christmas movie, but it is a Christmas movie because Santa's in it. So I watched that today and it was delightful.
So here's my preview. Two short series. One, Mom hates series, and so because I don't
Oh,
know, she's weird. She to the person who has more
commitment.
time than
You're full of commitment.
we'll talk about that next week when
Yeah,
we
another
dissect.
time.
Um, attention span too. She's so funny. So rabbit trails. Right? It's her attention span. Right. We'll try to watch something. I'll try to show her something, and then 3 seconds later, she's fidgeting and doing this. And I go, Mom, this is the best part. You're missing it. Anyways,
Oh,
I have to taser her in the neck. Anyways, so the first series she watched that she loved was Kiefer Sutherland in Designated Survivor, which was a
okay.
great series, and she likes government conspiracy, whatever, right?
It's on my list.
So
Yep.
there's a Canadian one, and that one's a longer series. So there's a Canadian one new on Netflix called Cardinal.
Oh, yeah.
Cardinal is filmed in Sudbury in Toronto.
Okay.
It's
Which
all
one?
Canadian.
Sudbury or
It's
Toronto?
about it's about a detective in Sudbury,
Okay.
and it's about them finding out this solving crime of a gruesome killer, serial
Oh,
killer
my
stuff
kind of
you like.
story. My kind of
Totally
story.
your time. So you'll love it. So mom the other day. So of course, if mom likes something, if mom likes wind chimes with little designs, everybody gets it.
All
Mom
right.
tells everybody about this show.
Okay.
It's not everybody's show. It's
Of
kind of
course not. Right. Right.
there's some like body parts and different things that are
Oh, I'm excited. That's
the
one
other
of
one.
the things we have in common, me and her.
So me too. So I love because some of the scenes in Sudbury I remember as a kid because we'd go there
Love
for
Sudbury.
Christmas. So I remember that.
Hmm.
In Toronto, so it was a one. So the detective has to go to Toronto a couple like different shows because of forensics down there, whatever. So the one show goes and they go, we're going down to King and Jameson. I go, I lived just off King and Jameson. I don't remember because I was young. So I'm
Right.
getting these little flashbacks, right? But
Okay.
anyways, super good. The did you watch were you one of the ones that like the Trader, the show The
Yeah.
Trader?
Yeah.
So the Canadian Trader with the female host,
Okay.
she's French.
Okay. I haven't watched that.
Okay. So she's in this. I
Oh,
really like her.
neat.
I really
Okay.
like her. And then I'm going,
Really?
I've seen her before. So I looked up her name, go, she's the Trader. I watch the Trader every week,
Oh,
right? So anyway, that was funny. So that's
yeah.
really good. I think you will love it. The one I just finished, I think they're going to do another one, and I'm going. I can't wait. This is like waiting for the second Lord of the Rings movie. Like I can't
Okay.
wait like another year or 6 months to be done. So it's on Netflix. It's called Abandons. I'll send you Abandons. So it's a
Okay.
western,
Oh, okay.
and it Gillian Anderson from the X Files is in it,
Ooh,
and
okay.
she is like a ruthless wealthy Western woman that just wants to control the town.
Ooh.
And the other
Abandoned?
woman,
Abandoned?
abandoned,
Abandoned.
Abandons.
Abandons. Okay.
So good. Then in this place called the Hollow, where kind of the poor people live, there's this Irish woman. Did you watch Game of Thrones?
No,
Okay.
I'm that person.
Anyways, if you go look at Abandons and if you look at the cast, there's just different people that you go, oh, interesting, like good. But anyways, it's this family that wants to control and manipulate, and they want the land from these poor people, and they're willing to do anything to get the land.
Oh, okay.
So good. Like it's 7 episodes, and I think because I control my own time, so I think
That's a
I was
cakewalk.
I was like I think I watched 7 episodes in 2 days.
Yeah, probably. That's awesome. I need
So
something right now to watch.
so good,
That's
but
awesome.
they both have their different thing. I saw Roxanne yesterday. She
How's
was
she
at mom's,
doing?
and so she said, have you seen Hell's on Wheels? Hell on Wheels, and it's a western kind of you know thing. It's on Netflix again too. And I said, no, I haven't. So I wrote it down. So I'm going to try to watch that this week.
Where does
But
she
it's
live now?
uh
Like in your, like in, not in
Kamloops.
Chilliwack? Where?
No, she lives in Kamloops. I think she
Okay.
lives on. She has like a trailer in a property by the two girls, Jessica
Oh,
by Jessica.
okay. Good.
But she
Both of
comes
them.
down because her boyfriend lives in Hope.
Oh,
So she'll
good.
come down. She was
Yeah.
looking really good.
Good.
So she came down. I think she was down for a couple of weeks or whatever.
Oh,
And so, saw mom for the day, help mom out and stuff, which is great.
yeah.
I'm tired.
That's awesome. Tag
I
you in.
need to apply for a
Right?
caretaker license.
Yeah, right. Get the sticker.
um, but you know what? She's looking good. It was good to
Good.
see her.
Good.
It's you know, it was
Awesome.
fine. And the other brother, so me, Tammy, then the other brother who's not
Nick.
to be mentioned by name.
That's right. I think he
he,
called me on the phone
yes,
and
he
I
called
missed it.
everybody.
Did he?
I didn't
Oh,
answer.
I missed it.
Text him back.
Okay.
Text him back. Okay, so we're live still, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so whatever. He won't listen because
Well, he
social.
might. You never know. He might.
Anyways,
I bet he's
so
a secret watcher.
yeah, we would find out because we got
You'd
control.
find out. I probably wouldn't. But
But anyways,
he was
so
gonna send me
he
some
phoned me on he
songs.
phoned me last Sunday. He sent you what?
He said so the last time I talked to him a couple weeks ago, we texted back. We're sporadic random texters. So it was about a month ago, and he messaged me and we were chatting and he asked for my email and
Yeah,
then he was going to send me some songs
yeah,
and I was anxiously awaiting them and they never came. So then I messaged him back and sometimes I tell him things or whatever, but I messaged him back and I was like, "Did you get my email? Like, don't you dare put two L's in that name, mister." And and then,
yeah,
I never got the songs. So then I never heard back from him. Maybe he was scared, I don't know. And then I saw I'd missed his call. So I'll have to text him
yeah.
back.
So I think he phoned everybody,
That's
and he
awesome.
phoned me because Rock said he phoned. Tam said he
Oh,
phoned.
oh,
So
good.
I just think it's one of those
Not
kind
feeling
of
as special now.
one of those. I just and so I texted him and said, "Hey man, sorry I missed your call." I was just like not in a bad mood, but I was just like in a mood where I just needed to. I was on the couch watching
Those
TV,
moods happen.
and I just didn't want to talk to anybody. And
Huh.
my gut, anyways, I needed to just
You don't
chill.
have to explain it.
So and he says, "Oh man," he goes, "Yeah, I love you, brother. Just want you to know." So it's one of those moments, which is
Oh, nice.
it's nice when we have those moments,
That's
right?
right.
And
And
so, but anyways, so tell him, yeah, he sent us. Oh my word, he's so funny. So he does this AI stuff, and
does he?
some of it he said. So he's done some pictures of the grandparents where it's a black and white still picture, and he makes them like waving and stuff,
Oh,
riding a bike,
yeah. I've seen people do that.
which is really cool but kind of creepy because
Exactly. That's right.
they're
I
not
think
alive
Tammy
anymore.
did one. She sent me one of her with no pants on in the Toronto Maple Leafs jersey, and
Oh
all of
my
a
word.
sudden she's waving, and it was super creepy. And then my reply, "Girl, get some pants on!" Like, my
Tim sent
word,
one to
hey
us.
Nana, get some pants on.
Tim may sent you this one. So he's in the bathtub, and it's Tim,
Okay,
and there's
but you
bubbles.
said his name. Oh,
Tim,
Mitt,
and
Mitt,
his
Mitt, Mitt.
dog's in front of the tub.
Okay,
And so this AI app works. I should send it to you. It's free, whatever. It's so silly. So I'll send you some of the things I've done to my grandkids, and
okay,
there's some of it. It's weird, but I used it. They gave me 60 free coins a day, and I don't pay anything, right?
right,
So he sends
perfect.
it, and so it's him getting out of the tub. You don't see anything, but he's got like a six pack, and
Of course he
he
does.
looks like he's like the Rock or whatever. So but in the email it says, "This is a special Christmas thing from me that you'll never forget," type thing. So it's pretty funny, right?
Oh my word, that's funny.
But
He's
but
so funny.
it's interesting, these little like I've learned to so for me, in the midst of taking care of myself, so I'm thanks for sharing that you were down and message me when you're in those places. Not that like I'm going to weird you out and send you me getting out of a tub with a dog in front of it or anything,
Yeah, I
but
didn't send anybody anything.
but it's just, yeah, just because we have to think about each other, whatever. But yeah, it's one of those things, like I want to be aware, like I'm aware, like Ethan's with me, and me and Ethan kind of do our own thing. We eat together and do our own thing,
Yep.
and I try to see mom. And there's a part of me that really likes to be alone, not
Yep.
not in a dark way, right?
No, me too. I love myself.
But I'm not talking that stuff. Hey, that's between.
I'm pretty funny.
Ow. um, but but it's okay, like this, being alert and aware, like I want to be aware, right? Like
Yeah.
not in an over stimulant way, but I want to be like when I'm out, like I want to, I just don't want to be like I've been driving lots, going to Vancouver. I've been super busy, crazy busy, but in a good way. I'm like number one in the company across Canada.
Yay.
So whatever, I got some bonus coming.
Oh,
Oh, the house
whatever.
sold.
That's oh yay. Look at
The
that.
house. Did you
Awesome.
know the house sold?
It was almost sold last time we talked.
Yeah.
It just had to go
I'm
through.
signing the papers on Wednesday with the lawyer via Zoom.
Oh,
Thank
nice.
Courier. I'm I'm gonna walk away with maybe a couple $100,
Who
a couple
cares?
thousand maybe,
It's not about
but
that.
peace of mind.
That's
And
right.
and the nice thing is, so for
And a
me,
chapter over.
but you know what? So, but you have to be honest and transparent to yourself, right? I have to own. Do I hate the fact that I just lost $35,000? Yeah. This is like somebody being in a bad relationship going, you know what? I wish I would have known about this guy before, this person before, right? You can't change that. It's done. So you're right.
Right.
So part of it's going, you know what? I'm not bleeding cash right now. I'll be back to normal
Yeah,
and I can go to the next chapter, right?
exactly.
So it'll be done. I signed papers on Wednesday and then the payout is the following Wednesday. So
Nice.
good. Happy that'll be done.
Yeah.
And and then the fun thing that happened is
Fantastic.
on this Thursday, I had to drive into Vancouver. We had a staff party, so they closed the shop down, and my work is really good. So they rented a theater in this big mall
Yeah.
in like just outside of Vancouver, Burnaby, so it's kind of Vancouver. So this is a theater, like a Cineplex.
Yep.
So they rented the Cineplex, and it's a fancy one. So it's the one where the seats are motorized and your head goes this and that, and you can warm your seat, and it's
Oh,
got like a
neat.
little. And so they had an open bar before, as long as you can't have too many drinks. And then they bought lunch for us, and then you can get popcorn and a drink. So, anyways, and
Awesome.
and I'm always nervous about when I'm out about caring for my stuff, right? My
Yep.
gut. So, anyways, and what they did, and I took a picture. I didn't show anybody yet. And so what they were doing, so there was 90 employees there.
Awesome.
So just think of the cost of this company. So I love that. So I love the fact that they care. And they had little trinkets for people and different things. And they played some games like opening up the present with oven mitts.
Yep.
You
Love
know,
that.
yeah.
Yep.
But the movie we saw in the theater on the big screen was Elf.
Oh,
I've
fun.
seen Elf. I've seen Michelle. I've seen Elf 2-3 times a year, every year,
Yep.
just
Yep.
because of whatever, right? Or at least
Sure.
once a year. Seeing it on a big screen, I was like, oh my word, this is so much better. It was so
Oh,
good.
good. Good.
But so in the midst of like going back to the world and dealing with stress, or the loved ones going through stuff they're going through and stuff, we take a breath, and we have the power and control to go, you know what? Life's full of shit.
Yep.
But you know what? I'm not going to let that suck the life out of me. And like you, if you had to you took time off work on this period of time, you took time off
Yeah,
work.
I did.
Yeah. And we have to do that. And I don't know, like for you, if we think about like finances and bills, like, because normally I would, right?
100%. I live
But
paycheck to paycheck.
yeah, and that's like me, like with the house thing going, what the hell am I going to do? But at the end of the day, you go, I've gotten through every time before, right?
Exactly. We're
Yeah,
survivors,
yeah.
right?
But yeah, well, I'm glad you got through the tough week. How you
Yeah.
feeling now?
I feel much better. I'm on antibiotics, and yeah, no, I feel pretty close to back to my normal glorious self.
Do they know why something like that happened?
I catch a cold and it punches my face in because my
Oh,
lung
right. Okay.
function's so low. So like Alec brought it in the house. Thanks, Alec.
So you should wear a mask. Joking. Alex should wear a
Yeah,
mask.
right? Well, and you know what? It's interesting when you know I was in a workshop not too long ago, and somebody's recommending masks and then recommending don't forget to get your recent vaccines and everything else. And oh my gosh, I don't speak on it, but it's not. Oh, even if you're in a bubble and you've never heard of what the fallout is of some of these things, it's important to realize that we all have our own circumstances and our own body, and we have to make these decisions for ourselves. And the reality is I can't wear a mask. The holes are too small. I
Yeah.
need, because my lung function's so low at
Yeah.
17%, knock on wood, I go for my next test in January, that
Okay.
it's improved because I've been studying. but like, so as I'm listening to this, I know the sharer, her heart is in the right
Yeah.
place, and she's got her algorithms that still have her believing that they make a difference. That's fine. But when you say to a group of people, it's not about protecting yourself, it's protecting other people. That could, and it didn't, because I'm who I am, but I could have walked away from that really feeling like a piece of crap,
Yeah.
thinking my disability is endangering other people. And then I might end up being that introvert, which I am an introvert
Yeah.
because I'm fearful of getting the cold. But
Yeah.
at the same time, and that's why I missed a bunch of meetings, like my in person ones, because I'm like, I couldn't do it. But I also don't want to risk myself. But when you're sharing and at the end of the day, they're all opinions. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. I don't even care what your story is, where you came from. It's an opinion based on experiences and what you're exposed to. And it's just not fair what somebody else who will never speak is
Yeah.
feeling on the other side of that. So I think everybody needs to do just what they need to do for them. If you feel good doing it, it's like,
Yeah.
if you're still getting vaccinated and you feel comfortable in your decisions, rock on. Like,
Well,
right, or
I
if
think we
getting
become
all of them, even
brand.
if, all of them, right?
We become ambassadors to what we do, and if we're sharing,
We do.
if I just share those, I'm an ambassador of those shows. Hey, these are great. You got to listen to this, or music,
For
whatever. Those
sure.
are harmless, right?
That's right.
Um,
Exactly.
but we that's the marketing thing, the sell, the sell. And the challenge is when you feel like you've been duped, like, so
Yes.
people that, using the vaccine as an example,
Sure.
that believed it, the government wants to take care of us, all this, and all of a sudden they realize that some of their people they knew that got vaccinated died. So this type of thing, right? And then all of a sudden they even feel shittier, right?
Oh my
So
gosh. Yeah.
and
Right.
so part of it, I'll say this, and then I guess we should go. But part
Yeah.
of it, I'll say this, is educating yourself,
Yep.
and not using Fox News and CNN, but
That's right.
finding, like seriously, I was trying to teach mom how to talk to her phone, like say, search for blah blah blah, like search for a recipe with turkey and stuff, whatever, right? Like, the good thing with AI type stuff, like you can get information, right? To
For
some degree.
sure.
Like I'm
That's
talking like,
100%.
but you need, but going back to what you and I would know, we're like, and we're smart, but we're not like educated smart in medical field per se
All
like them.
things.
But you
That's
know what
right.
we do know? We're smart enough to know that we are probably more better off to catch something natural to be exposed to something naturally than
That's right.
something foreign.
That's right.
So we have enough common sense. Now, if we want to go down the, the dark hole, which is okay, then whatever has money attached to it, there always should be a question to it.
That's right. If it's sponsored by Pfizer,
Right? Yeah.
right?
So right now I watch hockey. Pfizer commercials are all over the place.
Yeah, I bet.
And I'm going hundreds of millions of dollars of commercials. Their
Yeah.
stuff is way too expensive. And like now they're marketing a product. Now it's a dietary aid in the States, not in Canada yet.
Yeah.
But they'll give a kickback to the government. Hey, we'll throw you some.
Oh, or all the doctors that pushed it got kickbacks, the
Yeah.
communities.
But
Dastardly.
so I'll leave you a fun story about manipulation. Remember the Tom he's punished painting the fence. He's grounded. He had to paint the fence.
That's
Tom
right.
Sawyer.
Yep.
And his buddy comes and he says, "Hey, what are you doing?
So
Painting this
much
fence. It's so much fun, right?"
Yep.
So I work. One of my only jobs outside of the food service industry, I worked for a company called Color Your World paint store,
Oh, yeah, we have that
and
here.
I worked there for 6 months. And so I dealt with commercial sales. So they trained me, watched the videos, drank the Kool-Aid, right?
Of course.
And so couple of my friends this is Pentagon from church, own their own painting company. Brad and I can't remember Dean, bald hair. He looked like he was on Sons of Anarchy, big beard, big biker looking dude, played violin. He was so funny, sensitive dude, whatever, right? But they were my friends, right? But they never bought paint from me, right? So anyways, I worked there 6 months, but we're the best paint. So now I'm telling people, you got to buy paint. We have the best paint in the world, right? So then I left there. I can't remember. I probably got a job in a restaurant.
Yep.
And so I'm talking to my buddies months later, going, "Yeah, so like how's it going?" And paint, they're going, "Yeah, company's doing really good." And they go, and I'd see them up on the, I heard you're not working for Color Your World, right? He goes, "No." I said, "No, I'm not." "That paint's shit." I said, "But they told me best. They told me it was the best paint in the world." Of course they did. It was horrible.
Of course.
No coverage, all this stuff. I'm going,
probably
I believe what they told me.
Of course you did, right? That's right.
Now, I'm in sales. I pride myself on Michelle. I don't BS anybody.
Right.
I'm up front. So anyways,
Yeah.
I'm going to go eat hot dog and fries.
All right. Okay, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for listening to us.
Subscribe, and we'll see you next week, right? Same place, same time, same channel.
Do some Christmassy stuff next week. Maybe Santa might be here.
Oh, that's exciting.
Or Elf.
There you go. Having
Okay.
fun here. We are done.
See everybody.